I'm Emma Wilson, 34, a financial analyst from Boston with a knack for numbers and a heart too big for my own good. For 7 years, I poured my savings, sweat, and dreams into paying off my parents' mortgage, transforming their crumbling suburban home into something sturdy, something mine. It was my investment, my future, secured by a contract we signed when I was 27. But at my sister Lily's wedding, my parents handed that house, my house, to her new husband, Ethan Caldwell, their golden boy. Devastated, I retreated to my mountain cabin, my sanctuary. 3 months later, they showed up with suitcases, expecting to claim that too. Let me take you back to where it all began. Growing up in a modest, split level in Newton, Massachusetts, life was comfortable, if not lavish. My dad, Tom, taught history at the local high school, his voice warm with stories of revolutions and dreamers. Mom, Diane, ran a catering business from our kitchen, her laughter filling the house as she whipped up trays of lemon tarts and stuffed mushrooms. Lily, 4 years younger, was the free spirit to my straight-A diligence. She painted murals on her bedroom walls. I balanced my checkbook at 16. Together, you girls make one perfect daughter, Mom would tease, her eyes crinkling. But when I was a sophomore at Boston University, majoring in finance, the cracks started showing. Dad's chronic back pain cut his teaching hours. Mom's business tanked during the recession. Suddenly, our middle-class stability wobbled. I was on a partial scholarship, but tuition wasn't cheap. So I picked up 30-hour weeks at a coffee shop, steaming lattes while memorizing derivatives formulas. Lily, still in high school, was shielded from the worst. "Emma, you're our rock," Mom said during Sunday calls. "You're going to soar." I believed her. While my classmates partied, I interned at investment firms, building connections. By graduation, I had 3 job offers and chose a position at Harper & Stone, a respected Boston firm. My starting salary felt like a fortune compared to our lean years. I rented a 1-bedroom with a college friend, pinching pennies to save for my future. Meanwhile, my parents' finances crumbled. Property taxes spiked, and their 30-year-old house started falling apart, leaking roof, faulty wiring, peeling paint. Dad's pain meds ate into their savings. Mom's clients dwindled as younger caterers took over. Lily, drifting through community college for art, lived at home, contributing little. During monthly visits, I saw the strain in my parents' faces, the worry lines deepening. At 27, 3 years into my career, I got the call that changed everything. Dad's voice broke over the phone. "Emma, we're 3 months behind on the mortgage. The bank's threatening foreclosure. We've tried everything." My heart sank. That house held every memory. Thanksgiving dinners, Christmas mornings, the porch swing where I'd read as a kid. I couldn't let it go. That night, I crunched numbers. I'd been saving for my own home, but I had enough to cover their overdue payments. After consulting a financial advisor, I proposed a deal. "I'll take over the mortgage," I told them. "I'll pay it off over 7 years, and the house transfers to me as an investment property. You can live there for life." Tears streamed down Mom's face as they agreed. We signed a contract, simple but binding, notarized at the local bank. "You're our rock, Emma," Mom said, hugging me tight. For 7 years, I sent $100 and $200 monthly, no exceptions. I replaced the roof, rewired the electrical, renovated the bathroom, and installed energy-efficient windows. Every nail, every paint can was documented, my investment in our family's legacy. I advanced to senior financial analyst, my salary climbing. By 32, I bought a 2-bedroom cabin near Lake Winnipesaukee in New Hampshire. It was rustic, needing work, but the pine walls and stone fireplace felt like home. Weekends became my escape, sanding floors and painting shutters, crafting a sanctuary from Boston's grind. Lily, meanwhile, bounced between retail jobs and art projects, often back at our parents' house. "She's finding herself," Mom said when I worried about her aimlessness. Not everyone's got your drive, Emma. I nodded, trusting they knew best. Then Lily met Ethan Caldwell. Act 2. Betrayal. The golden son-in-law Ethan, 33, was a commercial real estate broker from a wealthy Connecticut family. Handsome, polished, he swept Lily off her feet with designer handbags and weekend trips to the Cape. From their first dinner at our parents' house, Tom and Diane were smitten. Dad had a new buddy for Red Sox games. Mom beamed when Ethan praised her meatloaf. "Isn't he perfect for Lily?" she gushed during one of my visits. "He's so accomplished." I wasn't so sure. Behind Ethan's charm, I caught flickers of something colder, correcting Lily's table manners, cutting off her stories. Small things, but they nagged at me. Around this time, I met Noah Bennett, my cabin's neighbor, a wildlife photographer. With a warm smile and steady presence, Noah helped me install my dock one summer. Our friendship grew over campfires and kayak trips, blossoming into love. With Noah, I didn't have to prove myself. When I shared my unease about Ethan, he listened. "Trust your gut, Emma," he said. "You know Lily better than anyone." As my relationship with Noah deepened, my parents' obsession with Ethan grew. When I mentioned the final renovations before the house transfer, Dad dodged the topic. When I brought up our contract, Mom waved it off. "Family shouldn't be so transactional, Emma." With 6 months left on our agreement, I pushed my doubts. Aside focusing on finishing the renovations, Ethan proposed to Lily after 8 months, flashing a diamond that screamed extravagance. "We're planning a spring wedding at Mom and Dad's," Lily squealed over the phone. I was happy for her, but the wedding planning consumed my parents. Mom quit catering to organize it. Dad spent weekends landscaping. Ethan's parents arrived with an interior designer deeming my kitchen backsplash dated and my paint colors drab. "Emma, don't be sensitive," Mom said when I questioned the costs. "This is Lily's big day." As maid of honor, I tried to support Lily while suggesting budget-friendly options. Ethan dismissed me with a patronizing smile. "Don't worry about money, Emma. I've got connections." Those connections meant my parents footing bills for Ethan's friends' premium services. 3 months before the wedding, I found Lily crying. "Ethan wants to skip our honeymoon to redo the master bathroom," she said. That bathroom was my Christmas gift to my parents, a labor of love. "Do you want to skip the honeymoon?" I asked. She looked away. "I want Ethan to be happy." One evening, I overheard Dad and Ethan on the deck. "Emma's been generous, but she's too practical," Dad said. "Family's about more than contracts." Ethan agreed. "What does Emma need with this house? She's got her career and that cabin." My blood ran cold. Were they plotting to break our agreement? I confronted my parents later, voice low. "The transfer's still happening, right? After my final payment?" Mom glanced at Dad. "Honey, you're doing so well. Lily and Ethan need a place to start." My chest tightened. "Nothing's decided," Dad said. "Let's focus on the wedding." I called Noah that night, whispering from my childhood bedroom. "I think they're backing out. 7 years, Noah, all gone." He was calm, steady. "Document everything, Emma. Wait until after the wedding to push. Give Lily her day." He was right, but the sinking feeling grew. The wedding was a blur of stress and forced smiles. I wrote a heartfelt maid of honor speech, ignoring my fears. The backyard, transformed with floral arches and twinkling lights, was picture perfect. Lily glowed in her lace gown. "Do you think Ethan will like it?" she asked, anxious. I reassured her, swallowing my unease. The ceremony was beautiful, vows exchanged under cherry blossoms. Then came Dad's speech at the reception. "Today's about welcoming Ethan into our family. he began, praising Ethan's ambition while barely mentioning Lily. My stomach churned. Then the bombshell. Diane and I are giving Lily and Ethan this house, their foundation for a new life. Applause erupted. Ethan stood triumphant, pulling Lily up. We're overwhelmed by your generosity, he said smoothly. The room spun. 7 years of payments, renovations, promises, gone. Noah squeezed my hand under the table. I sat frozen, champagne glass trembling, as guests toasted the generous gift. I pulled my parents aside in the kitchen. How could you? We had a contract. Mom looked uneasy. Dad sighed. Emma, you've got your career, your cabin. Lily needs this. I was incredulous. The house I paid for since I was 27? Mom's voice hardened. It was always our family home. Dad added, Family's not about contracts. You're being selfish. Selfish. The word hit like a slap. I left the reception, driving to my cabin through tears. Noah arrived at midnight, wrapping me in a blanket on the dock. They gave away my house, I whispered. Like it was nothing. He held me as I sobbed, promising myself I'd never let anyone exploit my generosity again. Revenge justice. Reclaiming my worth for a week, I stayed at the cabin, calling in sick to work. The betrayal consumed me. Dad's dismissive tone, Mom's justification, Ethan's smug triumph. Lily texted, confused. Are you mad? Call? Me. My parents' voicemails shifted from concern to irritation. This silent treatment's childish, Emma, Dad said. Noah drove up midweek, bringing groceries and quiet strength. They're gaslighting you, he said by the fireplace, making it your fault when they're wrong. Back in Boston, I threw myself into work, the merger project a distraction. 2 weeks post-wedding, Mom called. This silent treatment's gone on long enough. I was calm, cold. I'm processing you giving away something contractually mine. She dismissed the contract as a formality. We never meant to give you the house. You could afford to help. The admission stunned me. They'd used my payments as a stopgap, banking on Ethan's wealth to replace me. I consulted my firm's legal department. The contract was solid, but suing my parents felt like poison. Instead, I cut financial ties. No more supplemental checks, no more paying their credit card, no more family phone plan. I declined Lily's housewarming invite, spending weekends with Noah at the cabin, healing slowly. As Thanksgiving neared, Mom pushed for a family gathering. It's Ethan's first holiday with us. I refused. I'm staying at the cabin. With Noah. She offered to include him, missing the point. I needed space. The Tuesday before Thanksgiving, I arrived at the cabin to find Dad's sedan in my driveway. Through the window, I saw suitcases, clothes in my closet. I opened the door, keys shaking. What are you doing here? Dad held up a spare key from last summer's contractor work. We kept it for emergencies. Mom smiled, oblivious. We were wondering when you'd arrive. They explained. The wedding drained their savings, and with the house given to Lily and Ethan, they couldn't afford rent. Ethan suggested we stay here until we're back on our feet, Dad said. The audacity floored me. You gave away my house and now want my cabin? Mom sighed. Don't be dramatic, Emma. Just share it temporarily. How temporarily? Maybe a year, Dad hedged. Ethan thinks the market will improve. Something snapped. Get out, I said quietly. Mom gasped. What? Get your things and leave. Now. Dad tried his teacher voice. Be reasonable. I listed their betrayals. The contract, the house, the unauthorized entry. Was any of that reasonable? Mom played the parent card. We raised you. I didn't budge. You've taken enough. Jake's my family now. Leave. Noah intervened, offering to book them a hotel. They packed in stunned silence, muttering about ingratitude. When Dad tried to take my grandmother's dishes, I stopped him. "Those are mine, per her will." An hour later, Noah drove them to a hotel. I sat on the dock, shaking but resolute. Lily called that night, upset. "Mom and Dad are crying from a hotel. What happened?" I explained everything. The contract, the payments, their cabin invasion. A long pause. "I didn't know about the contract," she said. "Ethan said it was just family help, not formal." I asked if Ethan knew about my agreement. "He mentioned you helping with the mortgage, but said it wasn't a big deal." The manipulation was clear. Ethan had orchestrated it all, exploiting my parents' favoritism and Lily's trust. The next morning, I called a lawyer friend, Sarah, who reviewed my documents. "You've got a strong case," she said. I didn't want to sue, just acknowledgement. She drafted a demand letter for $75,000, 60% of my documented payments and renovations. My parents' response was explosive. Dad called, accusing me of disloyalty. Relatives bombarded me with guilt trips. I forwarded everything to Sarah, holding firm. 3 weeks later, Lily called, voice strained. "Ethan's acting weird. I found him snooping through Mom and Dad's financial papers." She discovered Ethan's hidden account, siphoning $3,000 monthly from their joint funds, and emails about flipping the house post-renovation. "He's using you," I said gently. "What do you want to do?" She was quiet. "I want out. We planned her exit." I connected her with a family law attorney. She gathered evidence, bank statements, emails, hidden purchases. On a Tuesday, with Ethan away, she packed and drove to my Boston apartment. I hugged her tightly. "You did it." She smiled through tears. "I saw you stand up to Mom and Dad. If you could, I could." Ethan's reaction was volatile, rage, then pleading. My parents initially defended him, but Lily's evidence, $20,000, siphoned, plans to sell the house, shook them. Dad called, subdued. "We misjudged Brandon." The family home was at risk in the divorce, but Lily's lawyer was confident. My parents offered $35,000 to settle my claim, no admission of breach. I accepted, donating $10,000 to a senior housing program and investing the rest. Lily stayed with me for 3 months, rebuilding her life. She worked at a gallery, started therapy, and reconnected with friends. Noah and I grew closer, planning a future together. By summer, my parents admitted their mistakes. "We were wrong about Ethan," Dad said, "and the house. We broke our promise." It wasn't perfect, but it was a start. Lily's divorce, finalized, securing the house, though she planned to sell it. "Too many memories," she said. I declined a share of the proceeds. Build your new life. Epilogue. A new foundation. 1 year after the wedding, Noah proposed on our cabin deck, a sapphire ring gleaming like the lake. Our wedding, planned for next spring, would be small, lakeside hours. Lily thrived in her Cambridge apartment, her art bolder, her spirit fiercer. My parents, in a senior complex, were adjusting, our relationship healing slowly. The betrayal had reshaped me. I'd learned love isn't sacrifice, family isn't obligation, and home is where you stand unapologetically, yourself. The cabin, once my refuge, was now our shared haven, a testament to boundaries held and love chosen freely. Final twist. Months later, Lily found a hidden clause in Ethan's emails, a plan to claim my cabin as a marital asset if their marriage failed. He'd known about my contract all along, planting the seed with my parents to secure the house, then targeting my cabin. His exposure in court ensured he walked away with nothing, his schemes unraveling under the weight of his own greed. If this story hit home, share your own experiences of standing up to family betrayal. How did you reclaim your strength? Let me know below, and let's keep this journey of healing going together.